Good morning, everyone. China's electric vehicles (EV) industry has rapidly risen, transforming not only its domestic market but also creating shockwaves worldwide. This shift is easy to see on the busy highways between Shenzhen, Dongguan, and Guangzhou, where sleek foreign brands like Mercedes and Volkswagen are now joined by a growing fleet of electric vehicles bearing Chinese names. These new EVs are not just altering China's roads, they're reshaping global automotive markets as traditional car makers scramble to respond. Germany's Volkswagen, a longtime powerhouse in the car industry, is already feeling the impact. For the first time, it is closing factories in Germany and cutting jobs due to shrinking market share in China. Meanwhile, established car makers in Europe, the US, and Japan are taking desperate measures, lobbying for subsidies and tariffs to protect themselves from the flood of competitively priced Chinese EVs. Yet, despite these efforts, experts argue that it will be difficult for traditional manufacturers to compete with China's strength in low-cost, large-scale EV production. For over a century, the automotive powertrain, a complex engine with thousands of parts, has been a symbol of engineering might. Producing such engines requires advanced machinery, precise engineering, and a significant workforce. But EVs, by comparison, are simpler. Essentially, batteries on wheels, they have fewer parts, and much of their value comes from the battery itself, a component that relies on chemical rather than mechanical processes. This simplicity makes EV manufacturing more accessible and easier to scale, a perfect match for China's manufacturing capabilities. China has become a global leader in the production of batteries and other necessary chemical components for EVs. Combining low-cost labor, large-scale production, and easy access to capital, Chinese manufacturers have positioned themselves as formidable players in the EV market. In response, traditional car makers are left with limited, often unappealing options. One possibility is imposing tariffs on Chinese EV imports. However, tariffs are only beneficial for countries that rely heavily on imports, like the UK or the US. For major exporters such as Germany and Japan, tariffs would likely backfire, harming their own industries in markets where they dominate, such as Saudi Arabia and Australia. The US has approached the issue differently, providing subsidies to encourage EV production at home. Although these subsidies initially appear to support the US EV industry, they might not protect it long term if China can maintain lower costs. The scenario is reminiscent of the solar panel market, where Europe's effort to impose tariffs on Chinese solar panels were ultimately ineffective in saving its own industry. Another potential route is to develop alternative technologies such as hydrogen fuel cells, as Toyota has done in Japan. While these technologies are promising, they come with complexities that make them expensive to produce. Given the clear market preference for affordable EVs, it is unlikely that such alternatives will become the standard. As the automotive powertrain loses its traditional value, companies may find new opportunities in areas like autonomous driving, ride-hailing, and in-car entertainment. This software-driven approach mirrors the iPhone's manufacturing model, where the highest value lies not in the physical product but in the technology and software behind it. However, here too, China is a strong competitor, investing heavily in AI and autonomous driving technologies. For industry giants like Toyota and Volkswagen, the challenge is steep. While they may hold on to market share in the short term, the rise of software-driven value in vehicles might place them at a disadvantage against tech-focused rivals. In conclusion, the rise of China's EV industry signals a challenging future for established car makers. Although some may succeed in adapting, others may struggle to find their footing in a market increasingly driven by software and simple, scalable production. Thank you for listening.